Let's get started now. GSM companies listed on the Nigerian exchange could post a revenue drop in the first quarter of 2023 due to the impact of the cash scarcity that has rocked the Nigerian economy since the beginning of the year. Well, this is according to data by Nairametrics. The Apex Bank had in December set a deadline for the expiration of the old 200, 500 and 1,000 naira notes, respectively, triggering long queues in banks. Now, the Telcos posted double-digit growth in the last 3 years, largely on the back of rapid growth for their data segment, a reported revenue of about 470.9 billion, and about 22% in the first quarter of 2022, higher than the 385 billion naira it reported in 2021. Now, the data shows that the 4 mobile operators have added a total of 29 million subscriptions in the last 1 year. As of February 2022, the total active subscriptions of the telcos stood at 197.7 million, compared with the January 2023 figure. The subscriptions on the networks rose by 0.42% in February, as the operators recorded a total of 955,539 new subscriptions in the month. Well, Olade, let me start from you. Telco says, according to this report by Nairametrics, it's an analysis though, but we're looking at how these the first quarter is going to turn out. And we've seen very positive double-digit growth from the telcos company in the last 3 years. We've seen that, but let's look at the first quarter now. Your outlook, the outlook for the first quarter. So, what factors do you think will contribute to this projection that the revenue may drop in the first quarter? And if this report is anything to go by, how significantly with the Naira crunch or the scarcity will impact the earnings in the first quarter? Talk to us. Let's start from there.
Hello. Can you hear me, right? Hello.
Mr. Banu, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you clearly. Looking on the expectation of the telcos Q1 report and looking at the impact of the cash crunch, I'm not expecting so much impact, so to say, though there are kind of network glitches during that period as a result of the traffic the telcos are having during the cash crunch issues we had. And definitely is still expected to be okay because of the traffic on the network, which is supposed to be okay, has reduced their expected earnings, but I'm not expecting it to be a kind of decline on a year-on-year basis because of that. So I'm still expecting, though it may not be double-digit as it were before, but I'm not expecting a kind of decline in their year-on-year earnings. I mean Q1 earnings. So on the likes of the MTN, the Airtel, I'm expecting a kind of positive growth on that.
Okay, all right. Ambrose.
Yes.
Well, so let's have your say. You do not. I saw you. You were giving thumbs up to, like what you were saying. Perhaps is true, but give us your own.
What my colleague has just said, just to add to what he just said, I'm telling you that the telco has a diversified source of revenue when it comes to what making money. Yes, what we call the call is another different, the data is another different, and also the service they render to the bank to support the bank system is another system and another source. For me, during even the cash crunch, we were still sending money. That's why there was a delay, and that delay was not from the telco, it was the system of the banking, because the banks were not anticipating that we have such traffic on their network, and it's not for me. The telco will still make money, and also let me tell you, it was even during that period that many people that were not going out, they are even consuming more data to watch what's going on their phone. That means for me it won't affect them much. Fine, we can't really tell you, but I would say that they still sustain that 2-digit figure that has been like why. You can say that what you read now in the month of February, they even are kind of added to their work, to their network. Almost 900,000 was added in the month of February. I tell you, for March, January was there, February there. That means they are still expanding their business. I don't see it affecting much, but I believe that the cash crunch will affect other setup for telco and other service provider. I don't see much on it, but I believe that because they have diversified source of revenue, most of them are also in the mobile money. Within that period that the banks were still messing up, we're seeing that the mobile money from all this we're still going. And for me, I believe that that also have a way of boosting their earnings at the end of the day. But let's say, for example, we might see a higher return in the second quarter that started in April, because we can see that at the end of last week we saw about report from the September that about 1 point something billion has already been pushed to the economy. That was about 71%, up from what for me it's a boost for them. Liquidity and that also changed the phase in the second quarter for them. But for Q1, it's more they might have just a little decline, but not more than that 2 digits to say, but might be slow down a little. But I believe that Telcos will post a positive number for Q1.
I mean, if you look at the impact of the Naira crunch on most businesses, they also felt it. So it looks like the impact was across all sectors of the economy. That's why the analysis. I mean, this prediction is coming
that it won't be much on telcos and other services. Especially, you can see what's happening in the banking sector. People are also assuming that banking sector will put a negative number. And I tell you from the one that even when they are hitting they were attacking their facility here and there, it was going to affect the bank. Because already as soon as February, most of the banks have surpassed their performance for 2022. For me, this is a clear direction where the banks are going, because an environment where we are having high interest rates, and also despite the economy is kind of contracting and also getting the heat, there are some sectors that benefit from the high interest rate. Also, when there was that crisis, also that period, there are also some sectors that will benefit from it. I tell you that in this situation, that's why investors have to be kind of open-minded. Whenever you see uncertainty in the environment, you see, look for where can you make money in that sector. Well, there's what is happening. Like today now, all over the world, they say there's tension of geopolitical tension. Why some sector in those economy are making money from all the defense equipment they are selling.
Right.
There's war in Ukraine, but it's a bad thing. But still, some people are benefiting from it. In any environment, there's a place an investor where you should put your head and make money and be smart. Don't just stay down and start sleeping. Follow the trend. When you see that the things don't work, you roll out what measure. For me, this time now is for investors to invest with knowledge, not just following bandwagon. You must know why you are in the market, the source of your fund, and the kind of stock that will make you to make money. That is where you should be looking at.
So let me come to your Laidebano. I mean, we've seen that these telcos operate in a rapidly growing industry, talking about technology, but in terms of competition, when you talk about quality of service, it's still very, very low. Poor network. I mean, it's a whole lot. And sometimes some of them have also talked about the fact that the infrastructure needs to be updated, and they also talked about increase in taxes the other time. So how does these companies, listed companies, plan to stay competitive and maintain its market position in the face of increasing competition? Because there are quite a lot of competition. You have the Glo, you have the MTN, you have the Airtel, you have the Nine Mobile. I know that MTN and Airtel perhaps are the two major, largest, with the largest market capitalization on the exchange. So talk to us about the competition in that sector. Hello, Mr. Bano, can you hear me? I'm not sure if Bano is there, but perhaps we want to talk about that in terms of competition within these four major operators. Okay, you're there now, right? Did you hear my question?
Yeah, I didn't get the last part of the question.
Yes, I was asking you to talk to us about competition in the sector, in the telecommunications sector. How competitive has it been? What do you see any improvement in their quality of services? Has it been improved? What do you think they should start doing better? Because we've seen where sometimes there's a failed transactions as a result of poor network from the supplied by the telcos, especially when Nigerians trying to make online transactions and all of that. That's poor network, and these are supplied by these operators, not directly from banks. Talk to us about this.
Yeah, the competition between the two, between the operators, the telco operators, are be kind of so intense over the past few years, and because they've actually been improving on their infrastructure in terms of the 5G. We remember that MTN has begun the launch of its 5G network, and the Airtel also recently got its license. Well, I haven't seen much of advertisement around the launching of the 5G. So they'll be improving, though there's still more to do because of the competition around the consumers' environment in the sense that okay, people want more access to the network and more fast network. So by and large, I'm still seeing more of competition, and though we are seeing we are seeing there's kind of advance in one part of from one what we call it operators to the other one, because of that, and we are still seeing much of infrastructure deficit. Though they are trying, it's still not yet to be where it is, because currently we're supposed to have been seeing a kind of seamless operations in terms of their services they are offering.
Okay, Ambrose, let's have your take.
Yeah, just to add to also what is just said, I'll tell you that the telecom companies are not folding their hands. You can see that they all step up to cook and boost their cash flow. Investors are more interested in seeing the cash flow of this company, because when a company cash flow is expanding, is increasing, you can now know that to support what their earnings. Like in terms of service, or you've just said, they are not so sleeping in terms of providing a quality service, because they know that this all over the world now, the speed of internet is what matters. It's not having internet. What is speed and stability of that internet? That is why they are all open up toward the 5G. It started with different to G4, 4G, now to 5G. They are also they are concerned that the public need was fast internet system to do a lot of things, and that also provide a revenue for them if this is ongoing. I believe that they are not folding their arms, and as the more they are bringing, only that are we said with the low purchasing power we're seeing, we're able to go for all these services. I tell you, as I speak now, 5G is expensive. Only few corporate bodies are not that. Most Nigerians are still on the 4G, but when their earnings increase, going to the 4G, more likely that is once you go to that level of 5G, you see that as you are complaining, the complaint will drop, because 5G can tell you that it's a fast network that will enjoy, and most banks are already enjoying it. The word we are saying, like we mentioned about freight transaction, which is not only from internet, it's also from the platform of the bank. They need to also improve. The bank has to also upgrade their infrastructure. Why the telecom also, so that at the end of the day we give Nigeria a better service that also boost our own.
There's a big competition coming. You've heard of Starlink. Maybe I should start from Olaidebanu. Talk to us about the internet market and the competition that is out there. If you look at the broadband ecosystem, right? You have Starlink that just entered Nigerian market, and now you have 5G by these GSM operators, right? But how tough in the coming days, in the coming years, how tough do you think this will be for the local operators, domestic operators, to catch up on stronger competition or international competitions that are getting into the market, Nigerian market?
Yeah, I'm seeing more of competition, and I'm seeing more of revenue for them, in the sense that the population is growing, number of businesses are also growing, and so because of that, we still expecting more of growth in their own cash flow. Because as you can see in the past, we hardly see more of companies using more of internet as a result of that, and now we begin to see different sorts of providers, service providers, all these operators for all those companies and for the individuals. As you said, recently now we have Starlink coming to the market, and with the use of 5G, and many people are also taking advantage of that. But still despite that, we still continue to see the growing population requesting for for different service provider. So if one is not working, even for the same business or for the same person or consumer, if one of it is not perfectly doing well, coming into the other one doesn't say, okay, yes, you are totally neglecting the previous one that is actually not good, because there has been a time, okay, you are probably some kind of services that is better than the other one, because the number of the type of services and the number of services they are offering also affect their own revenue.
Okay, so Ambrose, how ready are they for this competition? Starlink is one of the fastest, internet provider, and they've been given license. Really,
Starlink is coming to meet people in the market. That means as it's coming, innovation will also coming, and that also the already existing one that has the market also have to double what they are giving. For me, you said it's all about competition, but I see that the ones already at MTN, they are not folding their hands. I said earlier, as Starlink is coming with other satellite internet, they too also have the money to do infrastructure boost, you know, and also they have the market already. You can see a number of subscriptions that they have, you know, like they have. For me, if they also improve their service, they also come, and also for you to come to the market and take away the market from them, it also take you time. In that sort of period, I need to also form the strategy. For me, I'm not afraid of you know, Starlink coming in. Is for them to be prepared to compete with it.
You know, customer loyalty is something. I mean, if the customers, your client, your existing clients, you know, can continue to get satisfactory services, they will stay. I mean, you have their loyalty, or yes. But if they cannot get it,
let me tell you, as they come with their satellite internet, the ones on ground will also they move from 4G to 5G. Right. There's another higher one. Those are to make sure that they compete fairly with the new one coming, and also you also come in. You also look at for you to get this market from there. You need to also come with a price penetration. Need to know what to do at that particular time. Finally,
last word. Oladiban, talk to us your outlook, your final word in terms of first quarter earnings. Talk to us about that. What's your outlook? Is it going to be positive or is it going to be negative?
Generally, in the market, I'm seeing more of positive results from the listed companies, and though there will be a kind of slow growth from their earnings, but I'm seeing more of positive in the likes of the telcos. We talked about that earlier, and the likes of the banking sectors. We talk about that, and also another part of it. Okay, yes, the consumer goods. We see more of we expect more of that. I mean, the consumer goods, but more of growth. Though there may be a kind of very slow growth in the industrial sector, and also from the oil and gas sector. So, generally, we expect positive outlook.
Okay, Ambrose, positive
for me, we expect
negative?
A miss number.
Okay.
Miss number. Some sector will post a positive one, while some will still will hit with what for the contract, especially the consumer sector, because I will tell you, you know, when the consumer have less, actually more goods of these people will also remain on the shelf. I believe that will affect the work. Consequently, as we are seeing an improvement in liquidity, but what matters is that if the way the government is saying that by end of this month they're going to up the workers' salary, if that happens, that will further boost the consumer. But I'll tell you now, most of the consumers in Nigeria have really.
I know I wanted to get only for the telcos, but since you've talked about consumer sector, but that's okay, that's fine. So either way, we're expecting positive.
For me, I said a mixed number. Why
across the board, right?
No, across the board, but for the banking and the
telcos
and the oil sector.
Okay.